Okay, today we have a synthesis challenge. So the question reads, synthesize the following target starting from toluene. Only one carbon in the target may come from a reagent other than toluene. So we've got our target here. The specifications are clearly listed. So take a couple minutes and see if you can figure this out. Okay, so as with any synthesis where we're just given a target, we want to look at the structural features of the target to try to figure out what kind of strategy we're going to use. So this says we're going to start from toluene only, right? And so the first thing we want to do is identify the toluene fragments. And so toluene again is methylbenzene, right? So it seems very clear that we've got a toluene right there. And we've got a toluene right here. So we're definitely going to need two toluenes. So you could have thought that maybe this carbon was part of this toluene. We added this methyl somehow, but it seems a lot more clear. It seems more obvious that these would be the two toluenal fragments. So what that also means is that this is the carbon, right? It says only one carbon in the target may come from a reagent other than toluene. So that's going to be this carbon there. So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to get that carbon on there, but we're definitely going to shoot for that. So what are we going to do? If we have toluene, we know that one option available to us is to try to do some electrophilic aromatic substitution. So we know that we can do some EAS reactions. So let's try one. Let's go ahead and what kind of a functional group would be a good idea to get on there? I think a halogen would be a good one because with a bromine atom on there, we can do a lot of stuff. So Br2 and FeBr3, right? Iron tribromide catalyst. These are our conditions for bromination for EAS. Let's just put the methyl point in there so we have a little more room. And so we've got that. So it's true that the methyl is ortho-para directing. So going to get some competing ortho substitution, but it's all right. We can separate it. We want the para. We'll separate it. We'll get the para, and we're going to work with the para. So from here, what are we going to do? We know that we need to get an additional carbon on there somehow. So we need to form a carbon-carbon bond, presumably from this carbon, because this is para to the methyl, this position is para to the methyl, so this is where the chemistry has to happen. Now, given that we have a bromine right there, to me, Grignard is a really good idea, right? Because we know that we can just react with magnesium in diethyl ether, and we are going to generate our Grignard reagent. So here is MgBr. Now, from here, this is going to be very helpful because it's going to be trivial to get one additional carbon on there. So we need to react this with a one carbon containing molecule. So we could do an aldehyde, but I think actually CO2 is going to be a better idea because it's going to get that one carbon on there, but then it's going to give us additional oxygen functionality to play with because we're going to need to transform that considerably to get some other chemistry going. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we're going to do this. And now we have our carboxylic acid. Right, so this attacks CO2, pops one of those pi bonds open, and we get the carboxylic acid. So we appear to have most of this molecule covered now. We have these two oxygen atoms, so that looks pretty promising. The problem is, though, we need to now do some additional EAS chemistry to get this other toluenal fragment on there. So I think Friedel-Crafts chemistry is a very good idea. Now, we know that we can do Friedel-Crafts alkylation and Friedel-Crafts acylation. The thing is that alkylation is probably not going to work because we've got an oxygen atom there, so that doesn't seem like that's going to fit. We're not putting an alkyl fragment. So actually, acylation would be great. To do Friedel-Crafts acylation, we just need an acid chloride, right? We need a Cl there instead of a OH. But that's no problem because we know that we can use SOCl2. That is our reagent for going from carboxylic acid to acid chloride. So there is our acid chloride. Now, what we can do is we can do, like we said, we can do our Friedel-Crafts acylation. So here's toluene. And don't forget, we need aluminum trichloride catalyst in order to pull that off. And so this, again, the methyl is an ortho-pair director. Because of the sterics involved here, right? We know that when we do Friedel-Crafts acylation, we're going to lose that chlorine, and then everything else is just going to be on the aromatic ring that's acting as the electrophile. So let's go ahead and put that on there. We're going to, again, because there's some sterics at play, that's definitely, the para is probably going to be largely favored. So let's actually start to draw this like resembling the target, since we are actually almost there. So here we are there. And what happened is this carbon is now attached to this carbon, right? So there is that. We've got this, and then we've got one carbon leading to the other benzene ring. And then there's that other methyl group there. So we're very close, but what happened? We ended up sacrificing that additional oxygen. But here's a little trick, and you may not know this if you have only made it through sort of the earlier parts of the playlist. But MCPBA can do something else. We can do Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, and what Baeyer-Villiger oxidation is going to do is it is going to insert this oxygen into this bond. So that is actually going to work wonderfully, and we are going to get to our target that way. So we know of MCPBA classically as performing epoxidation, works great for that, but also can perform Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. So I do have a tutorial on Baeyer-Villiger oxidation if you want to check out the mechanism of that reaction and see some of its other purposes. Usually it's ring expansion, going from a ketone to a lactone, something like that. But that works wonderfully here. So that's one route. There are definitely other routes. You could have done some EAS and then some subsequent transformations to get a hydroxyl right here. And then you could have taken this phenol and reacted with this carboxylic acid and done some Fischer esterification. So there are definitely other ways to do this. This seemed the most elegant to me, and I really love this Baeyer-Villiger oxidation there. It's like a ring expansion, but it just inserts the oxygen right there in that carbon-carbon bond. So I thought that was pretty neat. So hopefully that one worked out for you, and that was today's synthesis challenge.
Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.